What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be looking at signature items and AFK companions. This has been kind of a topic for a while now because getting the emblems for signature items is just kind of hard right now. There's not a lot of resources available to get them without using a lot of diamonds, which just isn't worth it at this point in the game. And so I'm going to talk about which heroes you should prioritize or which heroes are the best value, rather. I'm not going to say like this is the number one hero you should do for sure, because everyone's at a different point in the game, and depending on which heroes you have built out, that might look a little different. And so I'm going to give 2 or 3 examples from each faction just to kind of give you a well-rounded idea. This isn't an all-encompassing, like, these are the only heroes you should be using your signature item emblems on, but these are ones that I'm seeing a lot of value for at this point in the game. And they're also just really strong heroes, and you naturally want to kind of buff up the strong heroes to make them even stronger so they can really carry you through the game. And so first we're going to look at Rowan. Rowan, even in Classic, like, signature item was super important for him. It was like an essential component to building his kit. And so with his signature item, you just really need to have this built up for him to really thrive. Something that you'll notice with a lot of heroes is they get a really good, like, kind of buff when you first unlock the signature item. So with a lot of heroes, you can literally just unlock the first part of their item and get a lot of value from that, which only costs 10 emblems to do that. And so what I would recommend in general with signature items is once you get your characters to that mythic spot where you can unlock their signature item, just unlock it, because the value for it is way higher than building it up all the way up to like signature item plus 9 or 10 or whatever, because you only need 10 emblems just to unlock it, and you get that initial kind of boost just from unlocking your signature item. So in general, I would say you should do that for your mythic heroes that have signature items, which is all of them. At this point in the game, you probably don't have very many. Just looking at mine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And see, I have, like with Mishka, I just have Tundra, just their signature item, single one. Gretzel, I'm kind of starting to build up. Like I already have to 10, and then Rowan I have to 18. But you can kind of see how you can get a lot of value just by unlocking that signature item. But first unit I would recommend is Rowan. Second, Sanja is she's a kind of a beast. I kind of underrated her at the beginning of playing the game, but she's really everywhere right now. She's a really good unit, and her signature item adds a lot of value to her kit. And I think right now she's definitely a character that's worth kind of building up her signature item a bit. Now, whether you want to just unlock it, get it to 20, that's kind of up to you. Getting it to 30 at this point is like near impossible. So like, whatever. But I think she has a lot of value, especially if you have her built out. I would say I wouldn't take the signature items past 10 unless you are planning on building this unit out like for the full capability at this point in the game. So Sanja's the one I would recommend. Next in the light bearer, so we're gonna move over to Maulers, and next I would have a copy of them. Recommend Salaki. Salaki's signature item kind of just adds a lot more buff support nature to his kit. He's already, a buffer support unit, but adding that signature item really does add a lot to his, overall abilities. The shield value is really nice, and you get more and more shield as the signature item goes up. It also kind of increases how long things last, durations, different things like that, and a little bit of damage enhancement as well. And so I'd say Slaki's a great one too if you have him built out. If you don't have him built out, obviously, I don't think that's just great value there. And then one unit that's kind of gotten a little more attention over the past few weeks is Crassio. Crassio really needs to be built out to kind of thrive, which means his signature item kind of needs to be built up for him to do really well. But he's a unit that really benefits from his signature item. And I would say with him, you really need him to be ascended to get a lot of value from building him out. It's not a unit where you want to have him like at mythic and try to get a lot of value out of him, because you're just not going to get that. And so with him, signature item can be really beneficial to kind of build out if you have him built up. And so next, the Wilders, we are going to look at Iran's signature item just kind of adds to his CC ability, his ability to really control enemies, and then also just the damage output that he'll be putting out with his ultimate. And so he's a unit where you really want to get him going as fast as possible. And once he gets going, hopefully you just win the battle because he's that strong. And so if you have him built out, I think he's another unit that is great to build out that signature item for. And then Leica, I actually released a video on her earlier today, but Leica is a unit who benefits a lot from her signature item just passively, which is really nice. While Leica's alive, increases an allied hero's attack rating by 10%. This is for all allied heroes, which is really nice. And then as you kind of buff that up, it just goes up and up. And then at 30, it actually goes from a percentage of attack rating to just 20% damage increase in general, which is pretty good, pretty strong. She's a really good buffer unit. I really like her. I really like Leica a lot. Leica. And I just think she benefits a lot from signature item. And not only does she, but your whole team does. Okay. Graveborns. First, we're going to look at Damon. Damon is a unit that is super strong, can carry your team. Once he starts getting some kills, he just kind of snowballs. And he's a unit that like you really kind of need to build up to really get the benefits of him. And that includes having his signature item at least activated. But I think the more you build him up, the stronger he'll be. Obviously, plus 20 is a good spot to aim for with him. If you are wanting to build him out completely, 30 is not going to hurt you, but I think your best value is that 20 range. Damon is just a unit, kind of tanky, does damage, does a little bit of everything, and really his signature item is great. And then Shamira, this is for those of you who have her like built out. She's like your big damage carry unit. Her signature item is basically just going to amplify her damage as the round goes on. Basically how her signature item works is as there are less units on the board, she does more damage. And so basically it's kind of like this snowball of like when there's 3 units on the board left, she does more damage. When there's 2, she does even more. When there's only 1, she does even more. And so she is a unit that just really, I wouldn't invest all the way in this unless you are like, this is my carry unit. This is who I want to use for a while. I have her built out to the max, and she does great. She does a lot of damage. She's kind of everywhere. She's in arena. She's in campaign. She's in towers. She can even be in some guild boss scenarios. She does a lot. So I think if you want to invest in her, doesn't hurt at all. At the very least, unlock her signature item to get this first little bit. To kind of start reaping the snowball effect of her kits. And so with Celestials, I'm not really going to go far into this because no one's really going to have enough for that. But if you get 1, 2 Mythic, for sure unlock their signature ability. Taylene comes to mind first. You know, just getting this unlocked is really nice. But if you want to go further, it doesn't hurt. But I think you probably want to focus on your units who are in tower factions and stuff like that, who you can use more than Taylene. Same with Hypogenes. Like there's not any towers to these units, and you're not really going to have enough units to push far in towers once they come out. And so I wouldn't really invest much into their signature items if you get them high enough, outside of unlocking like the base level of the signature item. But that's just my opinion. If you have someone who's like ascended and is a Hypogene, go for it. I think you'll enjoy the benefits of that because, you know, they're just strong units in general. But hopefully that's helpful, guys. This isn't an all-encompassing list. Obviously, there are units who will also benefit from the signature items. Honestly, everyone will do well. But like I mentioned earlier, if you can unlock that signature item at the very base level, you should definitely do it because of the low cost and high reward value you get from that. You know, I mean, if you look at how much... Okay, so it's still at 10% per level, but then it starts going up to 20s per level, and then I think it ends around like 40. So I mean, 41 level, once it's at 40, is the equivalent of getting the base level for 4 units. So like, it's just a no-brainer to unlock a signature item once you can, just because you get something, you get a buff that is very low cost. And so I would definitely recommend doing that. And then as you can kind of progress and get more of those emblems, I would recommend choosing a unit. In my case, I chose Rowan to get to a higher level signature item. Rowan is just a unit that does really well with the signature items and his energy restoration abilities. So, but hopefully that was helpful. Appreciate y'all. If you had more comments on videos, what do you think? If there's units that you think will really benefit from signature items, let me know in the comments below. But have a great day. Have a great Sunday. Peace.